So another thing nobody talks about is Trump ripped up the Iran agreement. This agreement was working. There were over a dozen times the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, went into Iran and they looked at their facilities and they said they're abiding by the rules and the regulations. They are not enriching to the point of getting a nuclear weapon. They're using this power for their power grid and for scientific research as they're allowed to do. And in return for that, all we did was ease sanctions on them and give them back their own money that we stole. Everything was working. Everything was hunky-dory. He comes in and rips it up. And then I always love when they're like, Iran is even closer to a nuclear weapon now. My goodness. And they're like, oh, man, we got to crack down even harder. Right. We got to do more sanction. And it's like, you do realize that you're the reason we are where we are. If you just kept that deal in place and abided by it, then there would be no problem at all.
Because that's not their intention, right, Kyle, though? It's to create a pretext for war, right?
That's exactly right. Because
they're insincere.
They want it. They keep pretending like it's somehow defensive, right? No, this is aggressive. This is offensive. We've all seen that clip of General Wesley Clark saying, hey, here are the countries that the U.S. wants to overthrow. And oh, would you look at that? Libya was on the list. Syria was on the list. Iraq was on the list. Those are all gone now. And now we have, of course, Iran, which is up next.
Right. Let's play this short clip that Matt has up here.
It's RFK and Dave Smith, who helped commodify the libertarian movement to sell it to MAGA. Here he is asking RFK a relevant question. And this is the Maverick RFK giving you his straight answer, unafraid to speak the truth.
Do you have concerns about the level of Israeli influence in our politics here in the United States of America?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a politician in political office, so I don't see much of that.
Do you?
That was a Mitch McConnell pause.
Yeah, right. I thought the video froze for a second. Turns out not as interested in Big Pharma. He'll talk until the cows come home about their influence on our politics. But Israel...
But he doesn't want to nationalize.
Yeah, right.
Right. Right. No, instead, apparently, one of his top legal advisors has advocated for the federal government to remove the polio approval, which we are basically people. Do you know what it was like before the polio vaccine? Children were dying all the time.
Yep.
Children were dying. People were getting paralyzed. If they survived, they were paralyzed. There was a president, a very famous president, who was afflicted with that condition as a child, FDR. It's insanity. It's insanity.
No, by the way, I don't know about you guys, but I'm convinced they got dirt on him. The Israelis have dirt.